matchups where you look at the two different players and there are so many factors that kind of tell you where they're going to be. GURIKO has been so calm all week. He's been joking around, laughing, having a great time. This is the first time I've seen him wear a little bit of nerves on his face.
Yeah, and Lucas on the other side of it, he feels like he's just kind of been dialed all week. You know, on the other side, you know, he's a guy that likes to joke around, he likes to trash talk, but he does seem like he's been very dialed in. You see a little bit of a grimace there as he goes Goblin Sign to the right. Lava gets dropped at the exact same time, opposite lane. That's going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with right now than hopefully for the rest of this game.
Yeah, so now the big question is going to be, does he double down on this right-hand lane, which he appears to be doing with the Bomber, and maybe trying to figure out an alternate way of dealing with the aerial assault on the left-hand side, but they're pretty even in Elixir, but GURIKO has so much more on the board at the moment.
Yeah, and he did a really good job with that flying machine, making sure he's playing it up to the other side, maybe giving a little bit too much poison value right here to Lucas. I would have loved to see him just kind of pump the brakes. He already had a lot of pressure with the lava plus the flying machine. I don't think he needed to push the issue there with the guards.
Yeah, I mean, that's so much damage, but it feels like it could have been a few hundred more.
Yes, exactly. Or it would maybe been just a hair less, but he'd have more Elixir. But he's dealing with his defense very well.
Evo'd Brawler making its way across the bridge as we pass the midway point of regulation time. So far, it's been almost all GURIKO with that 17:08 mark on the left-hand side. And maybe a bit of a surprise here. We are in match number 2, and we are 2 for 2 on Lava Hound plays.
Yeah, I know. Fascinating about the Lava Hounds, you expect the Goblin Steins. The other thing that you really should be expecting a lot this weekend is that Goblin Cage. The Evo'd Cage is going to do a great job dealing with the P.E.K.K.A.s, dealing with Goblin Steins, dealing with a lot of the tanks that are most popular in the world. But we've seen this small shift over the last few weeks with Lava being a more and more prevalent.
And the list here of favorite card for Lucas being Skeletons, no surprise for the at one point top 2.6 Hog Cycle player in the world, back when that was still a fully viable deck.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see what Lucas has as his very last card, like what building that may be. Maybe something, it could be something like a cannon, so that's why he's not playing it yet. You would assume if it was a Tesla or a Inferno, he might have already dealt with that. And Evo Bomber going to do a pretty good job here cleaning up the Doctor behind.
Does he have any way of getting to it here? Log comes down, and oh, wow.
And Lucas uses the ability, and this champion in the Gob Sign is one of the most unforgiving when you use the ability. A lot of the other champions, you know, if the Archer Queen doesn't shoot or if the Skeleton King's ability doesn't go off, the Goblin Stein is
trading game number 1 where you know he's kicking himself a little bit.
Gotta have memory of a goldfish. That's all it is. He cannot think about... What he needs to know is that had that ability instance not happened, he could have won that game. That's what I'd be telling myself if I was Lucas.
I'd be telling myself, you could have won that game. So some bait from GURIKO here in game number 2. Arrows so far shown by Lucas.
Nice little pressure here, getting around. A lot of Elixir spent, now only 4 Elixir to deal with the MK, but he is a pro, so expect I was going to say either a King Tower activation or just a one and done in a card.
And Goblin Stein here to hold the ability. The Mega Knight getting away, though, for some significant damage.
Not the end of the world, but just a small mistake there. This will not activate King Tower, I don't believe, but a nice shot, nice attempt.
Does GURIKO try to utilize the fact, and he's not going to do it, I thought maybe with a slight Elixir advantage plus the 3-card cycle, get some early damage here while still in single?
Yeah, and expect a Princess to come down again pretty soon. There she is.
Gotcha.
Minute 20 gone. And Lucas with the lead, but here is the first Evo barrel.
And goes to the wrong side, so the true Goblins get some good damage in. But either way, it's not the wrong side in this situation because Lucas doesn't want one tower to go lower than the other. So smart play by him. Tower's pretty even, but that over the long run, as we just saw in our first matchup, bait in dual lane, not a lot of fun to deal with.
A little pressure on the left-hand side with that Fisherman in the back. Ice Wiz to slow down and take care of business. Princess does not get the second shot.
I'm so happy to see more Dark Hawk. Goblin, been a fan for so long, and very much in the meta right now.
And the Electro Spirit plus Snowball, maybe a bit much there, but plenty of Elixir for GURIKO to just get in the mix.
Nice little bit of pressure here on the left-hand side. Probably going to pull out an MK.
And finally it comes down after a lot of damage.
Wow.
The ability keeps going, and that is a huge opening. Wow.
And this RG now completely unsupported, does get Skellies out to bait out that E-Spirit. Now it's about controlling this Mega Knight and that second Royal Giant. You can see GURIKO, he's like, whoa, you got a little bit more elixir than I thought. Gonna maybe need to push with a cannon? And doesn't get the push, doesn't have the Doctor, and now he needs to take that left-hand tower. Lucas in firm control.
Can he reset here? Royal Giant goes again. King Tower activation, and this thing just switched on its head in a matter of seconds.
Lucas still behind by just a hair, but definitely feeling the momentum going his direction. 847 for GURIKO, 756 for Lucas.
And it feels like a totally different game now with that King Tower activation, able to help him a whole lot on that defense. And you see just doubling down on the weak side is Lucas. And now he's maybe going to try to eat a little bit of that right-hand side, and the King Tower getting very involved.
And that ability also not what GURIKO wanted there. Yes, and that's exactly it, man, is just let that King Tower do the work. Play the defense to just take just enough damage and get it so you can get back on offense. That's the rage.
There you go.
That's the game. And we're going to game number 3 once again.
And you see the pouty face from GURIKO.
What do I get? Do I watch? How do I get a badge? Well, event.supercell.com. Get your predictions in. Get those predictions right, and you will get that, well, unfortunately for us, the viewer badge of 2024. No finalist, no champion.
Yeah, that champion badge is the ultimate flex. And this is what I thought. I talked about it after game number 1. Lucas has liked running NATO. He pretty much always does it in one of his sets. And with what was open, you have to imagine he is very happy to get that NATO and the early activation.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, especially if he's running E-Giant NATO, because he's going up against Mighty Miner. A lot of times that's what we used to see Golden Knight paired with when we used to see Tornado. But a lot of things have changed since then. Not a lot of people are running E-Giant, and there's that Big Mama Becca.
I think I've seen him run a version of Drill with this before, which would be fascinating.
That's fun.
Drill Marcher, that would get pretty heavy.
The Golden Knight combo, that makes much more sense.
And Firecracker out.
And there's Ram Rider behind. The freeze coming in, wow, and that's gonna go right to tower.
Whoa, whoa, bridge spam freeze out of Lucas. And GURIKO is sitting there looking like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, what is this? And hoping Lucas doesn't get too fancy for his own good here. GURIKO running something a lot more on meta, as that NATO does a great pull, and GURIKO keeps up the pressure.
And is something in cycle. There you go, Golden Knight to pick up. Lucas, though, pretty much down to 0. That Golden Knight not gonna be a big problem. GURIKO will have to cover for the dash, but that's about it.
Should just be an Ice Spirit, I would think, up high, and there it is. And the other thing Lucas has to start thinking about, a little preemptive, a little premature right now, but that King Tower's health already down to 32, 34, only just a couple HP, a couple hundred HP over a healthy Princess Tower.
And here we go. Evo P.E.K.K.A in the back. And GURIKO takes a bit of a gulp.
And he's doing exactly what you have to do. A lot of lesser players or people you watch, you know, streamers or whatever that aren't pros, you think, okay, maybe I need to put pressure in the opposite lane. Maybe, no. When you got the Evo P.E.K.K.A coming up, you know she's coming. You just need to save your elixir and put it all down on the line to defend. There's the Marcher we're talking about. Great Ice Spirit to clean it all up.
And here we go. Uses the ability, gets out of the way of the Mama P.E.K.K.A. NATO brings it all in. The Golden Knight to clear. This is a huge problem for GURIKO.
He misses the pull.
Mama P.E.K.K.A gets the hit.
He misses the pull.
Mama P.E.K.K.A gets another hit. Oh my word.
Oh, and the Ice Spirit with the dash. Lucas knows he just hit the nail in the coffin.
And waving the white flag, the Earthquake, Lucas with a roar, and he is going to round 2, where we will get a classic Clash Royale League matchup, Mohamed Light and Lucas, tomorrow here.
What a play. Every piece of that was predicted down to a T by Lucas. He takes